going live on YouTube. I'm late. As you see, I'm dressed up because my title tonight is about the last week Oscar slap. Well, I call it the slap of the century between Will Smith and Chris Rock. And I wanted to touch bases on that. So, guess what I have tonight? I have my S. Pellegrino because I ran out of apple cider. I'm trying to be extra fancy. So, I got all dressed up with my little split dress and all. And I spoke about this on IG. So, if you follow me on IG, my handle is Yamaya Goddess Ocean underscore Serena 0610. Excuse me. You can capture me on there and follow me and all that stuff. Well, everybody has opinions about the whole slap of the century last week between Will Smith and Chris Rock. Actually, I didn't even watch the Oscars. However, for some reason I lost taste in watching award shows like the Grammys, Oscars. But I did watch the Grammys last night and I was happy Silk Sonic won and I was impressed with Lil Nas X performance. Ooh, excuse me. Damn. But and of course Trevor Noah made it known yesterday there would be no slapping of any kind. I know that's right, Trevor. You tell him. Ain't no slapping here. But I lost taste for some reason in just watching the Oscars. However, I did see photos actually of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. And I just thought, maybe it's a spoof, maybe it's some type of publicity stunt. So I didn't pay it any attention. Until the next morning, I actually went to go see the video. My mom told me about it, and I looked at the video. And what it was, Chris Rock was opening with the jokes. He was the comedian of the night. And he was cracking on everyone. He cracked on Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz. He cracked on a few people prior to them. And then Will Smith and, of course, Jada Pinkett Smith sitting in the front. Jada looking beautiful as always with her lovely green gown. And he said, Jada, you look beautiful. Can't wait to see you in G.I. Jane 2. Now, Will was laughing hysterically at the joke along with everybody else. Until Jada's face changed. She gave that little side eye. And out of the blue, Will Smith pops up on the stage, walks up like Superfly, pimp slaps Chris Rock across the face. Turns around and as Joe Claire says, sashayed his ass right back to his seat, fixed his coat, smiling. Talk about keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. And he said it again, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. I mean, Chris Rock, the look on his face, it was like, wow, he was stunned. Like, where the hell did that come from? And I'm looking around like, well, where the hell is security for this dude to just walk his ass up on stage and slap somebody? And as Joe Claire says, sashay your ass back to your seat like nothing happened, like you Superfly. And then later on that night, he got an award for Best Actor. And then he gave some corny little apology speech to the Academy, but not to Chris Rock, but to the Academy. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for what I did. Denzel Washington told me be careful. At your highest moment, the devil will get you down. And then the next day, Will Smith was dragged for filth. However, he had plenty of supporters saying, well, Will Smith was doing the right thing. He was protecting his wife. People like Kevin Samuels covered it. Kevin Samuels also got dressed up for the Oscar too in his tux. Um, a lot of people it was like half half. Some people were in stance for Will Smith, and some people were against it. Stephen A. Smith, with his loudmouth and receding hairline, was even taken aback by the, "Oh my God." And even he said there was no excuse for that. A lot of women were talking about, well, he was standing up for his wife. She has alopecia. And what I'm trying to figure out, I don't mind a man protecting a woman, but I don't understand how folks got Chris Rock talking about alopecia by calling Jada Pinkett Smith, by saying Jada Pinkett Smith, see you in G.I. Jane 2. What people fail to realize, that was marketing right there and then, because what if Jada Pinkett Smith does get casted in G.I. Jane 2? And what if it is a box office hit? Then you're going to be kissing Chris Rock's ass. But, like, all jokes aside, I even got a lot of backlash on my Instagram from people saying, well, you don't like when a man defends a woman. My thing is this: I am all for a man fighting and defending his family, defending his territory, defending whatever. But here's my opinion: this was neither the time nor the goddamn place. The fact of the matter is, that slap that Will Smith did to Chris Rock last week was dehumanizing. It was emasculating. Now, Chris Rock could have easily fought back, but Chris Rock also realized, I have an image to uphold. Look where I am. Me being a black man fighting another black man for slapping me. Now that's gonna look bad. Okay. Well, some people can say that. But he smiled. Rumors were that he was asked to leave by the Academy, but he refused. But it was Chris Brown that stated that he did not want Will Smith removed from the Oscars, which he should have been. And my question is, where the hell was the security when that happened? Why was he even allowed to run up on this guy like that? Slap in. Like, this dude was rocking like he was on RuPaul's Drag Race, back to his damn seat. What's been going on with Will Smith for a long time has nothing to do with Chris Rock. That joke in itself wasn't even, some people say, well, it was how he said it. Well, how did he say it? How was he supposed to say it? He told the woman that she looked beautiful and see you in G.I. Jane 2. G.I. Jane 2 was referring to a low buzz cut. A buzz cut that Jada Pinkett Smith has often sported throughout her career. Even though she's experimented with different hairstyles and stuff. But that was her main hairstyle. And he said, well, people were like, oh, he was making fun of her alopecia. I didn't get alopecia out of that. Well, after his apology, he apologized to Chris Brown. Did I say Chris Brown? Excuse me, Chris Rock. But he didn't apologize to Chris Rock there at the Academy. He apologized on social media, which to me I think was very weak. I think was very cowardly. The same way that you apologize to the Academy, you should have apologized to him like that. And like I said, I commend Chris Brown. Oh shit, did I say Chris Brown? Why is Chris Brown on my name? Chris Rock. I commend Chris Rock for not going werewolf, because he would be all within his means and rights to do that. You slap this guy in his face like a pimp slapping a bitch on a corner for being $2 short for profit because he made a G.I. Jane joke. Now, I had a lot of people telling me, I even had friends, girlfriends of mine, disagree with me. Oh, well, Chris Rock ought to be ashamed of himself, making fun of an alopecia patient. And he did a documentary on Good Hair. Now, I remember Good Hair. I think he did this documentary back in 2009. I was impressed with it. I enjoyed it. And he was, oh, well, black men make fun of black women in their hair. And that's true. I mean, as black women, we are the butt of jokes of many black men out here. That we were talked about when we don't have hair. We're talked about when we do have hair. We're talked about. If our hair's too kinky, we're talked about. I mean, face it, we are the butt of jokes by a lot of our men in our community. We are the butt of jokes of other people. But yet at the same time, the same people that want to mimic us want to steal our hairstyles. I mean, I'm speaking as a black woman. I was made fun of a lot for my hair. I was made fun of a lot for my hair because how my mother used to braid it and put beads in it. Um, for the texture not being what it was, when my hair was breaking because I didn't have a certain length of hair. I can go on and on, but I do not get that at all from Chris Rock. I don't think he meant any harm. I think seriously, he was complimenting her, he was marketing, and it was a joke. And he later on stated that he didn't know she had no goddamn alopecia. I think I'm gonna just tell you what's really going on with Will Smith. Will Smith, it's no secret to the world, Will Smith is a very unhappy man in his marriage. Now, for years, Will and Jada have paraded around Hollywood like they are the perfect couple, and many black people inspired in their relationships to be like them. They were actual relationship goals. Of course, I didn't buy that bullshit because I always thought they were fake as hell. You know, just everything just seemed so damn fake. From how they embraced each other, from how they kissed each other, from their little family portraits. Everything just seemed just buck ass fake to me about these people. But yet people kept saying, "Oh, they're the ideal black gold. They're the ideal." Yep. And then come 2020, when Jada Pinkett Smith came and did her red table talk about August Alsina. And that's when the word entanglement, riddle me that, entanglement came to life. This bitch came up with a whole word, entanglement, about an affair she had with her son's friend. And that was August Alsina. Now, people will say, well, Will and Jada have an open marriage. And they do. And she's even said monogamy doesn't work for us. But for some reason, this guy felt bruised. And his ego felt really emasculated and attacked. And then not only that, she was on the red table again, talking about, well, I needed to feel good. And then she also said, what is it she said? He's not good in bed. He doesn't satisfy her in bed. Ouch. That's like taking a meat cleaver and cutting a man's dick off right here and then and shoving it up his ass. And this is what Jada Pinkett Smith has done. And this has had to gone on for years with this guy. I don't think he's in a happy place. This is a woman that decided to sleep around with one of her friends. And that says a lot about her as a mother. That says a lot about you as a woman, that you would sleep, I don't care how grown he is, that you would sleep with your son's friend while your husband was away getting some type of mental health treatment. Like, well, that tells what type of trifling ass bitch you are. What are you, a mother in perpetual heat? Wow. But I'm going to tell you pretty much what Jada Pinkett Smith is. She is a narcissist. That is the face of narcissism. She is a narcissist. She's somebody that suffers probably with narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and histrionic personality disorder. This woman is all fucked up. What people fail to realize is for years, even years later, Will Smith has been competing with a dead man. Everybody knows Jada Pinkett Smith, she's straight from the streets of Baltimore. The love of her life is the late great Tupac Amaru Shakur. Tupac Amaru Shakur, who grew up in Baltimore with her. They would write poems and all that other jazz and shit. But that was the love of her life. And I don't know, something about that relationship. I mean, it was a beautiful relationship, whatever, friendship, whatever, but Will had to always compete with that. Here Will is a hood dude. He's from West Philly. He's a hood dude. But he was a hood dude that was quote unquote what people would consider the corny nigga. Tupac was thug passion, thug life. He was your thug. He was Machiavelli. He was your poet. He was your Cyrano de Bergerac. He was everything in a nutshell. And they say Geminis and Virgos match. I'm a Gemini. I don't know about that. Maybe. I always thought Geminis and Libras and Geminis and Leos were the romantic match, but you never know. But yeah, he was competing for this man's affection because he knew deep in his heart, even Tupac being gone, still has his wife's heart. That has to be a painful thing. To know that your wife is still in love with somebody that's no longer here. And I was having a discussion with my mom about that. She said, you never know, because she said the people weren't allowed in their house. She thinks that this woman has a shrine with Tupac in the house. And you know what? I don't think that's far fetched. She probably does. She probably has posters and shit all over him. I remember I think somebody said that Willow Smith made a reference to Tupac, and mind you, when Smith was born, she was born in 2000. She was born 4 years after Tupac's murder. So this has to be a constant conversation of him and his name and his memory that is brought up in that house. And Will Smith, who is the man in the house, was reduced to that of a woman. It was like you cut his balls off and you put that shit right in his pocket. In your pocket, in your purse. You bling blinging with his balls. That is emasculation. That is defamation. That is depreciation of a man. That is the kind of woman Jada Pinkett Smith is. And I've heard plenty of stories. Even Fat Joe got stories where she was still with Will Smith. She would come to parties and mess with Pac, which I don't think is a lie. Fat Joe's been around. Fat Joe's old, so he would know. He's been in that scene. He's running that scene. I've heard a lot about even Will Smith being a jerk himself. But what's funny, who came to his defense last week, was Janet Hubert. And for those who don't know, Janet Hubert was the original Aunt Viv. Not Daphne Maxwell Reid, Aunt Viv Light. This was the real Aunt Viv, Janet Hubert. And Janet Hubert was the first, years ago, to bring to light Will Smith's true, unadulterated, bare character. That this guy was nasty. This guy called her all types of B's, would cuss her out, would have the cast members alienate her, directors treat her all sorts of way. Oh, but Janet Hubert came out with a statement stating that she supports Will Smith. Some people go too far with their jokes. She met Chris Brown once, and once is only enough for her. And, some people need to be slapped. Like, she feels like slapping Wendy Williams. She feels like slapping Tamron Hall and that sort of things. And I will say this about Janet Hubert. And then I'm gonna change my narrative. She's right. To some degree. Some presenters, reporters, comedians, and stuff, and TV personalities do go too far. I understand that, but that's their job. Just like your job is to act, their job is to do what they do. Now, yes, there should be some boundaries to a degree, but Will Smith slapping Chris Rock was no excuse. Something deeper is going on. And my thing is this: Janet Hubert was all in defense for Will Smith, which is shocking to me because, ma'am, correct me if I'm right or correct me if I'm wrong, Aunt Viv. Wasn't this a man that destroyed your career like 30 years ago? Where you couldn't get a job no goddamn where? Nobody wanted to hire you. Nobody wanted to work with you due to what Will Smith said. The last time I saw Janet Hubert Smith was 1990 damn 3. That was when she was fat and pregnant with her baby, and then that was the end. I ain't never seen her again. And then light skinned skinny Aunt Viv is now in the role. You were the one that brought to attention how this guy really is, and now you caping for him. So let me ask you something, Janet Hubert. How much damn money did he write you a goddamn check for? I mean, I'm curious to know because you singing a different tune now, sis, and that makes me really question you. So let me ask you: all the checks that he writes you, was that enough to revamp your career? The last time I saw Janet Hubert was actually in a Lifetime movie that came out nearly 2 months ago called Single White Female with Raven Goodwin and Amber Riley. That was the first time in a long time I've seen you act. Other than that, I've seen you when you went on your tirade roasting what's her name, Stacey Dash, when you took Stacey Dash away. Um, when you were you go on your little rants on social media. You had little guest roles here and there on some people's shows, and that was about it. Other than that, ain't nobody seeing you. Maybe you went back to the theater or whatever to do work. I hope so, but I'm gonna have to tell Janet Hubert. Well, you may have a point. You're gonna have to sit this one out and be quiet. Okay? You have no dogs in this fight, lady. Okay? Now, while you might be right, you sitting here defending this dude, that to me is laughable because you were the first one that decided to cry wolf years ago that this nigga was treating you like dog shit and bullying you on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So now you want to change your narrative? What? Child, please. Aunt Viv, I'm gonna need you to chill. I'm gonna need you to really chill with that. But anyway, seriously, many people have had this issue with Will Smith. Will Smith, even stuff was coming out about Will Smith when he was on Arsenio Hall show back in 1991, and he was making fun of a bald guy. His criminal record came back where he assaulted somebody. Paul Rodriguez on the set of Ali said he would never want to work with him again because he was the worst person to work with. And I've heard many people say that about Will Smith being a jackass, being an asshole, and I can see that. I could really see him being a bully. But see, he bullies people who are non threatening to him. He wouldn't bully somebody that could actually whoop his ass. And I've had friends argue with me, telling me, well, you're wrong. He had a right to defend his wife. Let me explain this to you. That G.I. Jane joke had no need for a defense. Okay? I'm all for a man protecting his wife. Protecting his wife when need to be. But as a woman and as women should also know that you don't also put your man in danger of anything. This man, and my thing is this, even though at the end of the day Will Smith is wrong for what he did, his wife is partially to blame, but it's all on him because he did the act. Instead of her pulling this man back, babe, sit down. We'll handle this later. Don't do this. You allowed this man to walk his ass strut his ass upstage like he was Superfly and smack this man in the face, turn around, fix his coat, sashay, pa, like this is America's Next Top Model in RuPaul's Drag Race, fix his coat, and walk his ass back to the state, walk his ass back to his seat. Now I was just shocked at I was laughing at Lupita Nyong'o's face. Lupita Nyong'o's like, damn son, what the fuck? She had this what the fuck look on her face. Because where the fuck did that come from? Never in my odd years of living, almost 40 years of living, did I ever think I would live to see such fuck shit like that. Okay? Did I ever think I would see that? In my life. A grown man, a grown black man slapping another black man in the face. The only time I've seen shit like that happen was in high school. There was a guy in my class in ninth grade named Ryan. I think he was a little, I don't know. You know, I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to offend anybody. But you being a male slapping another male, that's really questionable. Most men that I know would punch. They're not gonna do no slap with no open hand. And then this nigga slapped this guy and what two fingers touched his face. So what kind you can't even slap for shit, bro. You can't even slap. But I said if I was Chris Brown, I would have handled that differently. Now I understand why Chris Brown did not want to do what he had to do. But if I was Chris Brown, if I was in Chris Brown's body that night and you slapped the shit out of me like that, I'm not gonna fight you on stage. I'm gonna get your ass. I'm gonna get your ass at the party. I'm gonna get your ass in the bathroom. I'm gonna get your ass behind the damn building somewhere. Your ass is gonna come out one way or another. But either way, motherfucker, I'm gonna get your ass. Because Will Smith wouldn't do that. You from West Philadelphia. Try to slap somebody in their face. Try to slap another nigga in his face in West Philadelphia. And your ass would be stretched the fuck out, bro. People don't play those kind of games. I had an incident like that, and I'll talk about that one day in the video, where I was in a situation like that at my job, where a bitch decided to put her hands on me. So I was in Chris Rock's position. And no, I didn't take the high road like Chris Rock. It went downhill. But I'll talk about that in another video of why that happened. And why you see this little imprint, little scar on my face. So I'll tell you about that. But no, I mean, you gotta think of this. People were saying, well, he was defending his family. Hey, Tony, I damn sure will. I will tell that story. That is a long story, but I would definitely tell it in another in another video. But people were saying, well, he was protecting his family. What are you protecting your family from? A G.I. Jane 2 joke? What? What? It is a phrase, sticks and stones. Yeah, words hurt, but trust me, Jada Pinkett Smith wasn't bothered because there was camera angle, when Will Smith went up to slap Chris Rock. This bitch was sitting and kikiing. Kikiing. I'm gonna tell you what kind of woman Jada Pinkett Smith is, and I'm gonna tell you, fellas, stay away from bitches like that. That is a narcissistic, self-centered, egotistical broad. That is a chick that will suck the life out of you, will suck your manhood, everything that makes you a man, strip it away from you, and then still tell you you ain't shit. You could give her the sun, the moon, the stars, the whole universe, and this bitch will say you missing the fucking planets. Women like that, you need to stay away. Jada Pinkett Smith, and I've said this for the longest time, this is a woman for the streets. Like Bruno Mars and Silk Sonic be saying, send back to the city. That's where a broad belongs. She is for the streets of fucking Baltimore. Okay? She is trash. Trash. Okay? Trash to the bone. This broad allowed her man, and even though Will Smith, and I'm holding him responsible because he had a choice. He had a choice to sit his black ass back down and fucking take the joke. But you got scared because your wife had a side eye and gave you a look. This is a trained puppy. I'm gonna tell you something. Will Smith may be worth $300 million, but that is one trained nigga. That is one trained little bitch boy. His wife definitely runs that fucking house. And this is what they say, masculinity starts within the house. And I'm gonna tell you what, he ain't a man at home. And we saw that on the red table, and we saw that last Sunday. That is a biatch. Biatch at home. That is a batch. Okay? He is the one carrying a purse. And this bitch is the one walking around like she got the whole dick and balls. These are the type of men, these are the type of women these men marry. Because they're cute, got a cute body, they're quote unquote baddies, they dimes. These bitches have nothing to offer. They are pain. Now, Jada Pinkett Smith, you gonna be offended by a G.I. Jane joke? Now, I'm not making fun of your alopecia because years ago, when I was like 12, when I was in middle school, I had an alopecia scare my damn self. My mother and I. So what happened was, for some reason, something traumatic took place in our lives, and my mom and I were both balding at the crown of our heads. We tried cutting the hair, that didn't do anything. We just kept balding at the center of the head, where it was noticeable. Where it was noticeable, where classmates were making fun of me, class people were staring at my bald spot, asking me what was going on. You know, I tried to do everything to hide it, or people would literally try to stand over me to look at my bald spot, to talk about it. It was embarrassing. This stupid bitch in my class, her name's Mariah Dunlap, used to, she saw my bald spot and she would talk shit about my hair and all that other stuff. But I know now this bitch has probably got, what, 3, 4, 5 kids by 4 or 5 different niggas. And ain't not one of them taking care of her little bastard ass kids. And I hope she fucking sees this, because she, fuck her. Oh, ho ass. But, yeah. So, it was so bad that we went to a dermatologist. He was recommending remedies and stuff for us. Nothing was happening. Nothing was helping. They had to take a biopsy of our scalp to test us for alopecia. And it was no sign of alopecia. So eventually we had to cut our hair off. So I'm walking around in 7th grade with a little pixie haircut and waiting for my hair to grow back from scratch. And I mean, I've always had an issue with the center of my hair. Now I have a full head of hair in my center thanks to the hair products and the stuff that I use and me keeping it in protective styles and stuff. My hair is growing back. Now, alopecia is a big deal. A lot of people suffer with it. For those who don't know what alopecia is where your immune system attacks your hair follicles, causing your hair to fall out and you to bald in patches. And while your hair can grow back, it can grow back, but your hair can be very patchy. I don't wish jail on Will Smith, but he should have got arrested. I agree, Tony. He really should have. I agree. He should have got some charge. You don't assault people like that. You don't do that shit. You know, it grows back patchy, and I know some people that have alopecia that sometimes they rock a wig, sometimes they take that wig off and they don't rock it. And I mean, it affects a lot of people, especially in a lot of women in the black community. You know, it's a big deal. But Chris Rock didn't even know this woman had alopecia. And to me, even though Chris Rock may go a little too far with his jokes, I don't think he would make fun of somebody's health condition. I don't think he's that damn insensitive. I think he has a little more class and decorum than to just make fun of somebody's health issue. You know, and I think what it is, and I mean, there are a lot of people that said that. A lot of people that the alopecia community. There's some people in the alopecia community that weren't even offended by Chris Rock's jokes, and some that took it. And my thing is this: as Black people, we are too damn emotional to the fact we lose any type of sense of reasoning and understanding at all, where we just take everything personal. He said G.I. Jane. Whoever saw G.I. Jane in 1997 with Demi Moore, now Demi Moore shaved her head literally for that role. Okay? G.I. Jane was about a Navy woman who integrated into an all-male Navy SEAL unit to prove that she is as good as any other man. While her comrades tried to set her up, the senator, who was a woman, tried to set her up, her boyfriend tried to set her up. That's what it was about. G.I. Jane was a badass bitch. So when Demi Moore shaved her head, ain't nobody accused her of Allen. You know what's funny? Jada Pinkett Smith, for most of her career, was sporting a goddamn buzz cut. Okay, she's had a buzz cut for most of her career. Kept it either very short, low, or buzz cut. And I think that style suits her. She has a very beautiful face. She has very beautiful bone structure, and that brings out the most in her face. So I don't know where people get the alopecia from, but when Tiffany Haddish cut her hair that low, nobody thought she had alopecia. Nobody made mention about her having alopecia. Amber Rose, who most of her career sported a buzz cut, nobody talked about her having no alopecia. And you don't know if these women did or didn't. What's her name? When Tamar Braxton cut her hair like that, nobody said nothing about no damn alopecia with Tamar Braxton. What's her name? Angelique Kidjo, African singer, who's been wearing her hair like that for years. Ain't nobody thought no damn alopecia. But with Jada Pinkett Smith, oh, alopecia, because she came out talking about her alopecia. And that's good. She came out talking about it and bringing awareness to, what's going on with her. But my thing is this, and one of my friends even said that, well, she talks a lot about her alopecia, so how could Chris Rock not know? And my thing is, not everybody follows everybody in Hollywood. My thing is, that's kind of arrogant and self-centered for you to think that people follow you and watch you all day and want to know your business all day and sit and research what's going on with you. Now, you got alopecia. I'm sorry that you got alopecia. But he didn't know. Not everybody knows that. And I don't think that G.I. Jane joke was reference to her having alopecia. And Will Smith should have been arrested. He should have been charged. And I'm very pissed that not one goddamn security guard or police officer was present to remove his ass out the damn room. Okay? Now, if he had slapped somebody like Jim Carrey, if he had slapped somebody like Ricky Gervais, he had slapped somebody like Jerry Seinfeld, y'all would be on him, ready to take his ass out. But because he slapped another black man, and another black man that wasn't as threatening, y'all are like, oh, fuck it. Yeah. Which to me is disgusting. He should have been, I don't want his career to be ruined. Because personally, I grew up watching Will Smith. I think a lot of us did. If you're an 80s kid that grew up in the 90s, you grew up watching Fresh Prince, you've seen all his films, you've seen the Separation of Degrees or whatever he was in 1993. You saw Independence Day, you saw Bad Boys 1, 2, and 3. You saw all of his films, Men in Black 1, Men in Black 2. And I grew up watching Will Smith. I have nothing against him. I will never take away what he's accomplished at all. But that was totally despicable last week. On all levels. And there's no, and I gotta agree with Stephen A. Smith, no excuse for that. Jada Pinkett was not being sexually harassed. She was not being harassed. Nobody was holding a gun to her head. It was not that type of party for you to react in the way that you react. And yes, I was one of a few people saying that why didn't you slap the shit out of August Alsina? August Alsina degraded your wife. This is a man that was, well, actually, August Alsina stated in the interview Will Smith gave him permission to sleep with his wife. So why would you give your friends, your son, excuse me, your son's friend permission to screw your wife? Not only that, this dude decided to make a record, make a song about it with Rick Ross, talking about the entanglement. So he was disrespecting your wife. So why didn't you slap the shit out of August Alsina? You should have slapped his ass. But then again, Will Smith, you should have slapped yourself. You need to go slap your son with him walking around with dresses and all this other weird shit he's doing. You need to go slap him. Okay? Because Jaden Smith is out of control with the weird shit he's been doing online. That's who you need to slap. You need to go slap your son. Okay? You need to go slap yourself for the stupidity. I'm going to tell you something. Will Smith should have left Jada Pinkett Smith years ago. This is a woman that not only emasculates him, she's messing with his money. Already now, productions are pulling out. Bad Boys 4 was put on hold. His last film, his recent film, Netflix pulled out from that. Everybody is like severing ties from this guy. So this woman is messing with your pockets. They say a woman can either make or break a man. And I'm going to tell you something. That kind of woman will destroy a man. Will be the death of a man. That is the was shit that was shit that he did last week. You not know the average person ends up dead for that? Because some bitch is putting them up to fight for something minute. And the people are going to jail and people are going to the graveyards for shit like that. And people will say, I heard people say, well, he was defending his wife. What was he defending? That woman was not attacked. I am so sick of people saying that and trying to give this guy brownie points. He was wrong. He was flat out wrong. It was disgusting. Okay? You might as well snatch my wig off with this shit. What the hell when I saw that last week? And then had the nerve to curse. It was despicable. It was a hot ass mess. This woman is not mentally healthy for him. And I'm going to tell you this. I don't like her. But I'm going to tell you something. In the 6 to 8 minutes that I was watching her analyze and read Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, like tarot cards, was Candace Owens. Now, Candace Owens, or as I call her, Candace Owens, I don't particularly like her. I don't particularly like this bitch. Because, like what Dave Chappelle says, she is an articulated idiot. She is an articulated moron. She's bought and paid. She's a puppet. And you know why. So she has to appeal to a certain amount of crowd. And this is the crowd that bought and owns her. Now, however, there are some times that Candace Owens makes sense. And she made a lot of sense last week with me watching that video. I was like, hot damn. Candace Owens saying this? And she's right. Masculinity starts from at home. And that's what he's not doing at home. Now, most of Jada Pinkett's career, she has sported the type of hairstyle that she has now. So I don't know why the hell she felt insulted when Chris Brown made a G.I. Jane reference to her. You've been looking like that for most of your career, honey. You had short hair you wasn't really low, but you had short hair in A Low Down Dirty Shame. You had short hair like that in Scream 2. where you got murdered at the damn movie theaters. Okay. You had short hair in Gotham. You've had short hair even though you've grown your hair out and did stuff. You had short hair most of your damn career. So what the hell was your goddamn problem? Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. All of what Will Smith did, and I'm sorry, Chris Brown took his frustration. I say, why am I keep saying Chris Brown? My thing is, I wonder if Will Smith would smack Chris Brown if Chris Brown was talking shit about his wife. I wonder if Will Smith would do that. I don't know why I called him Chris Brown. Chris Rock. Chris Rock. Everybody hates Chris. I don't hate Chris. Chris Rock can be funny at times. I wouldn't say he's the most hilarious person out here, but he does well. And for people to say he was making fun of a black woman's hair, no, he wasn't. He was not. I didn't take any offense to what he said, and I didn't get that. And then you talking about his documentary on good hair. The reason why he did a documentary on good hair, he said he did that for his daughters. So his daughters wouldn't grow up with that stigma. And it was a very good documentary. But now his daughters will have a stigma because they had to sit and watch their father become humiliated, become stripped, and dehumanized by another black man on national TV. How do you think that makes them girls feel for watching their father go through that? Everybody talking about what Will Smith did. Did you not think about what Chris Rock is feeling? How his daughters feel? How his family feels? Now Tony Rock is angry. You defended your wife, but your wife didn't need no defending. Your wife actually set your ass up. You fell for the bait. That's what she did, and now it's costing your pockets. And not only that, that event was so pivotal and so foreshadowing. It ruined everybody's night. It ruined Will Packard's night. This was his first time ever hosting at the Oscars. And I mean, Regina Hall, Wanda Sykes, and Amy Schumer made jokes about y'all all night. But of course, they're women. You couldn't charge at women and say nothing. And Jada was sitting there laughing, hee kikiing. But the moment Chris Rock said something, it was a damn problem. That is some bullshit. My thing is this with these comedians. Do comedians go too far with their jokes? Yes. But that is their job to tell their jokes. You assaulted this guy while he was doing his goddamn job because your wife cut her eyes at you and cut her eyes, rolled her eyes all the way back in her head, eyeballs looking like her head. And because you didn't want to hear, oh, I'm not going to give you none. That's why Tupac was a better lover. You decided to strut your ass up there. I'm going to tell you, Will Smith's masculinity has been damaged for a very long time. It was damaged because of her still stuck on obsession with Tupac. It was damaged because of the August Alsina shit and her saying he's not good enough in bed. And I'm going to tell you also, too, I used to watch Jada Pinkett Smith's show, Hawthorne. And they took it off in 2016 because of that spicy, sexy scene with her and Mark Anthony. And like I said, I would kiss the shit out of Mark Anthony too. Sexy, Puerto Rican, spicy. Let me stop. Let me stop. I would kiss him too. But that kissing scene and that sex scene was how do I say this? It was more than acting. It was like this has happened before. And that's why the show was canceled. Now, they may have an open relationship, but notice all these women that supposedly, these were speculations about Will Smith. None of these women have came forward, yes, I slept with Will Smith. They didn't. But August Alsina ran his mouth. He ran his mouth after Miss Jada was talking about an entanglement. My thing is, what kind of mother sleeps with her child's friend? You know what? I was close to say that I have never had that issue where my friends' fathers wanted to look at me some kind of way. Or maybe it has happened. I remember one of my friend's stepfather, how he hugged me one time was kind of weird. You know, kind of creepy. And come to find out years later, she admitted he molested her. So that was a huge dodgeball that I missed. But yeah, all of this was bottling up in Will. Will has been in question about his masculinity for years, being married to this woman, and has been put to challenges. Even when she was still, I guess, talking to Pac when she was on the set of A Different World, even Will Smith said he had to compete against Pac for this woman. It was his competition. And he's still competing. And Pac has been gone nearly 30 years. And he is still competing against this guy. Wow. I gotta say, I kind of feel for Will. But this still doesn't excuse him. Because if he was to slap Pookie and Ray Ray on the street like that, Pookie and Ray Ray would have damn put the calico to his motherfucking face and blasted his ass away. And he knows that. You from West Philly. You know what that life is about. Now, people were saying, well, Chris, the reason why he did what he did, his father used to beat his mother. And I know, I'm a child that had parents that even would bear witness to a physical assault growing up. Now, I don't remember, but my grandmother told me one day when I was at her house, I was playing with my little toy phone. I was a toddler. And she overheard me saying while I was playing to myself, calling 911, my daddy's beating my mom. Now, I know my father was abusive to my mom, something he denies, vehemently denies, but, you know, it is what it is. Um, it was bad that he tied a cloth around my mother's neck to a door, because my mom used to sing. And that, like, crushed her vocal cords where she can't sing anymore. So I understand watching abuse as a child, but that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse at all. What people need to stop doing, and I've noticed this, and this happens in the black community way too often, you allow people passes for their shitty behavior based on their status, based on their celebrity, based on being a celebrity, and based on their money. This is why people like R. Kelly got away for years with the shit he was doing. And nobody gave a fuck because most of his victims were black girls or Latina girls, but black girls who came from, and not all of them came from broken homes. These are people that came from good families, but these were girls lacking something. But because he had money and was paying people to look the other way, and when you want to victim blame the victims, and not the grown ass man that knew not to mess with no underage damn girl in the first place, but because he had money, because he was a Grammy Award winning artist, because he could blow, that was okay. And this is a problem in our community where we don't want to hold people accountable because of who They are their status, their titles, and their money. Will Smith is flat out wrong. I don't give a fuck who disagrees with me, who thinks I'm a sellout. He was wrong. There is no excuse to that. You do not slap another grown. The fuck are you to slap a grown ass man? It's bad enough white folks used to do that shit to us back then. Was slap us in the face and we couldn't even dare slap them back. And you gonna damn do that shit? Now people can say, well, now white folks are gonna look at us a certain way. Well, I'ma say this. White folks look at us regardless how the hell they look at us. Okay? This is bigger than that. Because I'm gonna tell you something. People like Will Smith are trained Negroes. You know, you worked your ass off to prove to these people you just as good as them. You good enough. You are on the committee, bro. Do you not know what that means, being on the committee of the Oscars? That means you could have given a rite of passage to other people that look like us, to get their movies selected, to get their movies reviewed, and you fucked that up because you had no damn self-control. Because you let a bitch, your bitch in particular, pull your strings. He's a puppet. She's the puppeteer. And she was pulling your goddamn strings. This bitch was pulling your strings. My God. This is why they say choose your woman, fellas. Choose your woman wisely. A woman can be a downfall. A woman can be your strength. Like Michelle to Barack. And then woman can be your downfall. And have you lose your goddamn head. Like Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI. Let them eat cake. Shove that cake up your ass, lady. Fuck you tell me, let them eat cake. But Denzel Washington is right. At your biggest moment, the devil does come for you. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you who the devil was to Will Smith. And it happens to all of us. But Will Smith was his own devil. That wasn't Lucifer. The devil was him. The devil was him. He played games with his own mind. He played games with his own emotions right there and then. This was the biggest night of his life. Man, it's cold and drafty in this place. Oh. That was the biggest night of his life. And due to self-destruction, self-confidence issues, toxic masculinity, emasculation, dehumanization, you lost it. You lost it. All because you allowed a woman to control you. Now, like I said, that is a narcissistic ass woman, Jada Pinkett Smith. And there are plenty of women like that out here that will ruin a man, that will sacrifice a man. And all these women that want to sit and support this broad, let me ask yourself, it's also a woman's job as a woman to not bring harm to her man, to not allow her man to have to go do things, to risk himself. She could have easily grabbed him and told him sit down. But you egged him on. And then got the nerve to release a statement, this is a time for healing. Bitch, all of this started because of your motherfucking ass. All of this. All of this started because of your ass. And you got the nerve talking about this is a time for healing? Fuck out of here. You knew what the hell you was doing. You thought that shit was funny, didn't you? You thought it was funny. I can't even say you, I don't even know why you did that. But there are plenty of women like Jada Pinkett Smith who would do shit like that. And I'm going to say all these women that wanted to jump on the bandwagon, oh, he was defending his woman. Let me ask you something. Would you put your man in harm's way like that? Because now look, he's losing money. Productions don't want to fucking work with him. They pulling his shit. He losing money. So my question is, because I'm not trying to shit on Jada Pinkett Smith's career. She's had a very good career too, but her career don't compare to her husband's. She don't make the money like him. Now that his money is diminishing, what the fuck are you gonna do? Hmm? What are you gonna do? Because you're messing with the man's pockets. But see, Will is stupid enough to allow that to happen. You could have took the high road a long time ago. Or if you felt really offended, you could have pulled Chris Rock aside after the awards or at the party. Hey, I didn't appreciate you talking about my wife like that. My wife has alopecia. I didn't like that. You even messed up opportunities where you could have brought even money to the Alopecia Foundation because of how you carried yourself. Hell, Jada Pinkett Smith could have been a spokeswoman for that. But this is what happens when you react instead of being proactive, instead of just using your damn brain. You allowed yourself, you cut yourself short on many occasions. Now, other people have talked about it. Like I said with Chris Rock. Chris Rock to me is a buck 05. Really. He's a tiny dude, and he said the reason why he didn't hit back because of something that happened from childhood when, he threw a rock at somebody or something like that. And my thing is, Chris Rock should have hit back. And it's not, and now he has to go with that stigma with, hey, I got slapped the shit out of Will Smith. It's so bad that now someone painted a mural of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars last week. People are making all kinds of memes. He has to live with that. He has to live with that. He has to live with being called a bitch, being called a punk, being called a sucker because he didn't fight back. This man is still processing. I mean, now his ticket sales went up for his show. So, I mean, that's a win for him. But still, mentally, emotionally, you don't know what this guy is feeling. Now, with The Rock, excuse me. Now, will Will Smith do that to The Rock? If The Rock was making that jokes? Fuck no. The Rock is straight from New Jersey, I think. And as George Wallace said on CNN, he would have given his candy ass the people's elbow. You wouldn't have done nothing like that to The Rock. You wouldn't have done nothing like that if Martin Lawrence, your buddy, was cutting jokes. Martin may be short. He may be plump, but Martin can box. Martin would knock damn Will Smith into another century. Try that with Steve Harvey. You wouldn't done that to Steve Harvey. You wouldn't done that to no damn Eddie Murphy. Try to do that to Eddie Murphy. You wouldn't do that to Charlie Murphy. If Charlie Murphy was here. Mm-hmm. But you slapped somebody who was less threatening. You're a punk. You want to whoop nobody like the people that I'm talking to you about? Cause you know those men would have put their hands on you. And like I said, if whenever I do find the right man, or whoever my husband is, yes, I will want my husband to defend me. But I would not want to put him at risk where it's going to cost him his life, whether his life where he is in prison, his life where he is no longer here, his life where his career is at stake. I would never do that to a man. Would never. I think every woman wants to be protected by a man. But no, that was straight up bitch assness. And that was bitch assness when you were acting out because of years of how this woman has damn bitched you. You wore lace panties in that house while this bitch wore the pants. It was totally unequivocally disgusting. It was deplorable. Now, I know with Jim Carrey, and I know some black people are mad about Jim Carrey saying, well, Jim Carrey. And my thing is, I'm kind of half and half, even though Jim Carrey was right about certain things, that there is no humanity, because people do get rewarded for stupid shit. But this was Jim Carrey speaking as a white man. Oh, I would have sued him for $200,000. You're speaking as a white man, and this is where things get crazy, where white people want to comment on black people issues, be in black places, as always, feeling entitled to comment on our shit, even though, yes, this was disrespectful, absolutely, but this is when their true colors bore through. And I'm not saying this is how all white people are, no. But I can hear the arrogance in Jim Carrey's mouth with the way he's talking. And then Amy Schumer's fat refrigerator built ass. Oh, what is it she said? She felt afraid or threatened or whatever. Amy Schumer, who sits and makes racist jokes all day about different people, about black people and people of different ethnic groups, but you're shocked and appalled? No, I'm shocked and appalled by your disgusting refrigerator built body, Amy Schumer. And I'm shocked and appalled by your racism and how Hollywood still allows you to get a pass making the sick, disgusting damn type of jokes that you make. So let's talk about that. And then Denzel, I think Denzel supports Will Smith and something like that. And this is where Denzel, I think, needs to shh. You just need to stay out of this, bro. Because you're looking kind of sideways. I'm looking at you kind of. I'm giving you the side eye. I'm giving you that look. He was wrong. You do not slap another fucking man in his face. That's a grown ass man. Chris Rock is, what, 57 damn years old? You gonna slap a 57-year-old man in his face? On live TV? Because he made a G.I. Jane joke about your sensitive shit for a wife? Who's been wearing her hair like that all her goddamn life? Nah, you wouldn't have done that to no actual man. Because Will Smith, you would have been done. Now, you might know how to fight, yeah, but you can't beat everybody up. You can't fuck everybody up. Because there ain't no man, there ain't no actual man. And I'm not saying Chris Rock is not a real man. Chris Rock did what he had to do, and that was to finish hosting his show. And he did a wonderful job at it. But if that was somebody else, Dad, excuse me, I'm burping all over the place. He would have took care of you. You would have got dealt with. We would have got dealt with. You're from West Philly. You know what's up. And then had the nerve to joke on Twitter. This is what happens when you bring a Philly dude and a Baltimore chick. Yeah, ratchet shit. And I got family that lives in Philly. Ratchetness. Gutter. What is it? Eonla said gutter snipes. I said maybe they a match made in heaven. Ghetto, ghetto. That tell you can take people out the damn hood, refurbish them, refine them, but you can't take the hood out of their asses. That's like giving to somebody with a hamburger ass mentality filet mignon. Know what the fuck to do with it? That's like you moving from the ghetto. What was that movie I saw with Whoopi Goldberg and Danny Glover, where they ended up moving into an all-white neighborhood, and their next door neighbor was Monique's character, who came from the ghetto, and she was living in a nice big house, eating damn chicken bones and flicking the chicken bones on her damn lawn. That's that kind of shit mentality I'm talking about. It's disgusting. It's deplorable. It is distasteful. Wow. We got to do better. It's not even the fact that other ethnic groups look at us a certain way. We just have to do better. There's a reason why W.E.B. Du Bois wrote that book, The Miseducation of the Negro. Because a lot of us Negroes are miseducated. A lot of us are. And it's sad, and it needs to be talked about, and it needs to be stopped. It's disgusting. You may not agree with me, and I'm not here for people to agree with me, but I am here to say what I gotta say. That was disgusting. That was some shit. I wouldn't do that I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I'ma slap you because you said something I didn't like. What are we, kids? Ay caramba. Ay caramba. Anyway, my prayers go out to Chris Rock. I hope he actually heals from this, and I wish him a lot of success. If anything, I think the Oscars should compensate him something for that type of embarrassment. I think he deserves that much. Now, as far as whether he's going to sue Will Smith, that leaves to be desired. But I mean, if he does decide to sue Will Smith, I don't blame him. Now, for 200 million, I don't think you're gonna get 200 million for a slap. But as Jim Carrey said, that's gonna be embedded. What is the word he used? But that's gonna be embedded in everyone's heads. You know, people are making memes, doing artworks of it. Even some idiot got a tattoo of it on his forearm. Wow, this is not cool. But I don't think Chris Rock strikes me as somebody that doesn't let things get him down. But wow. Well, I can go on and on all night about this, but I was supposed to do this last week, but I got distracted with work and all and being tired, and I figured, hey, tonight would be the night since I had the energy. Yes, this is what I'm wearing. Dress. Yep, it's a long dress. But I got distracted with all that. But yeah, I just had to give my 2 cents about it because it was disgusting. It was like drinking flat cognac. Distasteful. Okay? And he ought to be ashamed of himself. Now, while I don't want his career to be ruined, but he should suffer some type of scrutiny for this because you did this. You shouldn't go unscathed from this at all. And I don't want to see anything bad to happen to Will Smith either. But you need some punishment. I don't want it to be permanent, but you need some punishment. Now, what's funny is now who else before I go, who spoke about Will Smith was of course Donald Trump Jr. Said, "What kind of world do we live in where a celebrity can slap another grown man and walk away and not get arrested? Celebrity privilege." What I have to say to Don Jr., shut the fuck up. Okay? You are the last person to talk about anyone in privilege. Okay? When you are the son of a sexual assaulter with a very terrible comb over, you know what, with a beaver on his head, whatever the hell it is. You are the son of a sexual predator who talks about grabbing women by their pussies, still became president, sold out this country being treasonous, committed treason, committed a whole bunch of tax frauds and other shit, was impeached twice, done a whole bunch of espionage, not to mention the insurrection of January 6th of last year, and never served any type of jail time. Never served any type of punishment other than being impeached. He wasn't removed from office. He was impeached twice. No removal from office. And you got the nerve to talk about celebrity privilege when your father, who's been privileged his whole damn life, and you being the son of him, has gotten away with fuck shit your whole life while other people had to suffer? Don Jr., you need to shut the fuck up because you are nobody. You are only somebody because of who your father is. Just like Megan, my dad McCain is only relevant because of her father. All she talks about, my dad. Okay, my dad. That's gonna be your name, Megan McCain. Yeah, that's your dad, but you ain't a goddamn thing like him. At least John McCain had some dignity, had some humility. You don't have none of that. Had some humbleness to him. You have none of that. You just reap the benefits of who your parents are. You don't know what humility is. You don't know you are privileged. He's a celebrity, yes. Will Smith has celebrity privilege, but he has celebrity privilege as a black man. He does not have that privilege as a white man. If he was a white man, that would have been a different story. He wouldn't been under this kind of scrutiny. There's a difference. There's a difference of privilege in celebrity privilege being a white and privilege in celebrity privilege. I can't talk for them being black. Will Smith is a black male. Yes, he's a celebrity, but he is a black male. The rules are always different for black people. So so Don Jr., shut the fuck up. Okay? Shut the fuck up with your tweet. You don't know what you're talking about. You are the privileged one. Your father, with all the shit he's done, is the privileged one. You shut up. This is my issue. But no, I'ma just tell to the black women out here that want to support, and to the people out here, and to the brothers, because it ain't just black women, because there's a lot of brothers. Oh yeah, he did the right thing. Pray your woman don't put you in a circumstance like that, where you jeopardize your life, jeopardize your reputation, and jeopardize everything that you worked hard for. I pray to God you don't have a woman like that. And for sisters who want to support that shit If that's the type of man you're gonna support, that's gonna be a ride or die bitch for real. That means follow his ass to the damn, like Funky Dineva said, follow his ass to the jailhouse since you down like that, and follow his ass to his cemetery since that's what you condone and you think that's okay and you rock with that. All right, folks. I said my piece. So I'm about to go now.